Ladies and gentlemen, we're here for the Week 13 recap. Got my gents with me today, fellas.
Hello.
I was about to say, where's my dogs at?
I was gonna wait. And just.
The dog quit barking for a little bit.
I'm getting trolled out here. What the fuck?
Oh
Yeah.
man.
All right.
What's
Oh, was
up,
that our
Mr.
cue?
Yeah. Oh my.
Oh.
No, we're getting into it, bro. We're getting into it. First game of the week. Chase got bozo. Chase, thoughts?
I mean, yeah. I'm out of playoffs. Yeah. Next.
All right. Well, obviously you don't skip. All right. So, you forgot about Infiltrator again, which is very interesting. And
You know?
yeah, I mean, you substitute in front of a Neuburn. I think that's a.
I'm pretty sure your exact words were, "I didn't know he got that."
No, oh, there you go. I didn't know he got infiltrator. That's the thing. Yeah, I didn't forget about infiltrator. I should know he got that.
Neuburn. The reason people want sound moves, sound typing in the game, bro. Chase, nah, man, we sub.
No, sound moves go through sub anyway, so.
That's the point. All right, move on.
Well,
He's shot.
we're moving on. Tanner, explain the game against the Biff, man.
Yeah. I mean, just kind of figured he really didn't have that much to do against the Paradox boys, at least mine. Glastrier, an absolute wall. Iron Bundle, I think, did a total of maybe 50% damage the entire game. And just, yeah. We had immunities for Sableye. We were prepared for that. I mean, I've got better Mega Gallade on my team.
Sheesh.
So, and obviously the star of the show, the Slitherwing. Can't deny it.
Boys
So,
tied in
I
second
hate
for
how
the kills
much you
now,
love
man.
that Pokemon.
He is, man. He's
Chase, you need to
he's up
find
there.
you that Pokemon in your life, man.
The one I just love, like with freaking.
Yeah, bro.
I think it's Altaria.
Maybe if you draft that Gangussie, man.
I mean, yeah. Like,
I think his mine is Altaria. I'll be real with
Oh man, Chase's logo and mascot is the Gengar, man. We gotta see it season 4, no matter what.
Maybe we'll see. Let's see
That's
what I
fair.
can cook up.
I just decide like seasonally that I like this certain mon, and I just inject myself with copium on it.
I like actually hate Slither.
I'm glad you can admit you just inject yourself with the copium.
Listen, listen, man. I'm just saying those are my guys. You know what I'm saying? Like they're my favorite mons. They don't have to be anybody else's favorite mons, but I like them. And I'm gonna use them.
And we know you like Torterra. Next.
And we're gonna cook. That's all it is. We're gonna cook.
Oh my god. I mean, I will say one thing about this game is I don't even know. This game's kind of a while ago, but yeah,
It was.
I don't know. I got nowhere to AV Glacier is just is doing his thing, man.
The Great Wall, man. Like the bottom mons, bro. When you see like Vikavolt 1-1, Blastoise 1-1, and Hisui and Arcanine 0-1, like they were just here to facilitate and like give me information. Oh, that's all it did. And then like Bundle. And even Armarouge, man, like, I don't know how much an Armor Cannon was doing, but I don't really think it's all that much. And he's getting O-code by high horsepower. So,
I honestly wish they did Armor Rouge some justice and made him a little bit better, because I like how he looks.
Yeah, bro,
Like
he's
I-
got that armor, man. He's looking saucy.
I think
Mm.
Fire Psychic is a dope combination of typings.
it is.
Have we
I
had?
mean,
Victini. Never mind.
At the end of the
And
day,
Delphox,
it's-
too.
Delphox, yeah.
Like I
with
said,
this
Victini.
I think this game's just a bad matchup for him altogether, to be honest with you. I think I just have enough, like he can't keep up with my offense, and I still have enough to, like, his offense is Gallade and Bundle, and like I said, Bundle might have done 50%, like, in total in both games, so.
Yeah. Oh, so
He's
the
just-
one thing I do remember from this game is he was so scared of the webs, he just kept clicking Magic Coat and just kept eating Thunderbolts from Pokeball, bro.
Oh, I was, dude, I'll tell you what, though. I was so afraid of Scarf Gamora. I think Scarf Gamora, like, aside from my Glastrier, goes crazy. Because it one hits my Valiant. It, depending on what type I am on Slitherwing, he has it for both. Like, Power Gem destroys Vikavolt. He gets Energy Ball, so that's for Blastoise. I mean, the combination of Power Gem, Earth Power, Dazzling Gleam, and Sludge Wave could have been deadly, man. Could have been deadly for me, but I had the AV Glastrier, man. It's sitting in the back ready for it. So.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully Biff can pick up a win because, spoiler, one of our lower end coaches did manage to get a win this week, but we'll get to that a little bit later on. Alright, so Chris versus the B-Man. Now, this, in my opinion, this is a super good game, but I'll let you take it away.
Oh, this game, I just did really good prep. I mean, I think he just traded for Jellicent and Don Dozo, which I was really worried about, but there's no way he brings both. And I figured that Jellicent is like, the better option between the two because it just hard walls Palafin. But I really, yeah, and I knew that he'd bring it, so I brought Grass Knot just as a counter. And I knew that once I got Jellicent off the field, like, the game was just over. Jellicent and Registeel, once I got those two mons off the field, I had plans for Aerodactyl. And I wasn't too worried. I knew he could bring Choice Bandit Inte, but I wasn't too worried about it because Moltres, I just throw it in front of it and I'm chilling.
Yeah. I mean, the big one in this game was, I'm trying to, like...
Palma
the
with
game,
the mod punch.
game 2, Palma just literally killed his entire team. They're all at 20%, he just quick Mach Punch 4 turns in a row, and the game's just fucking over. I mean...
Yeah, this was one of the rare games that I brought Iron Fist to, so Mach Punch was really doing damage.
The Palma Palafin show. You love to see it.
Yeah, when Palma's got the same brags as Palafin, there's an issue.
I was gonna do a revival blessing, but I figured like there was just no, like there was no way I could just let Registeel live, like sit in front of Registeel and just let him live while he was at such a low percent. Like I just gotta kill him. And every other mon was like so weak. Sneasler was already Dark Terror'd, so I'm like, yeah, the Mach Punch just goes in here because Jellicent's dead. And again, like I knew that was Jellicent was my win con, so I killed that, I win. That's how I felt.
Yeah, and another big thing that B was saying at the beginning, and I kind of have to agree, was the special Bennett when he was Iron Defense with Registeel. That made a big difference because it made it so Bennett could just break through it without having to sacrifice itself with Destiny Bond. And having Bennett to basically deal with Reggie and just guarantee a kill on something else, I think that was another big thing for this set.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that the game happened so long ago that I like forgot what I had brought. But now that you say that, yeah, I specifically brought Bennett to get rid of Jellicent and Registeel. Like that was Bennett's whole job this game, was because again I said if I kill Jellicent and I kill Registeel, I just win the game. So Bennett's job was kill one, if not both of them. And the only way I could do it is if I was specially built, because I did some calcs and I saw Shadow Claw was just abysmal damage. So yeah, I brought the Shadow Ball special attack Bennett with Destiny Bond, and it did wonders. It worked. I mean, he did his job perfectly.
Yeah, I mean for you, this game didn't really mean much at all, but anything. But for B, back against the wall against Preston. Preston mental definitely in the gutter, so we'll see. But with him being 5 differential behind Noah and being straight up tied with Tavs, even if it's quote unquote a free game against Preston, he's got to get a lot of differential. And I don't know how he does that when Last Respect is a button in that set. So for B, he's got to have a pretty big game against Preston. Had a big game against Mnaz. Had a good game against you, but fell a little bit short. But next week is a must-win for him if he wants to make playoffs. So
it was definitely a good game. Like it went all the way. I mean, the first game I actually didn't even have McCalc, and I still managed to win that one, I think. Or did
no,
he win
game
again?
one.
No,
you
he
lost,
blew me out.
And then
He blew me out game one. And then I used game one to basically figure out how to play, and then once I figured out what he had and how to play, I felt pretty confident I was gonna win.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see how that side of the bracket goes because everyone's so close together.
Yeah, I mean, my bet is still on B just because Noah has to get through JC next week, but again, we'll have to see. I mean,
I think B is actually like if you gotta fight B in playoffs, you're probably gonna be scared.
Yeah, I mean, if
Gator.
he makes playoffs, he's got to play Josh, who
Oh.
just suffered a loss today, but we'll get to that. So next
Uh-huh.
up, we had oh god, MS versus No. I mean, there's not much. I mean, the one thing you can say is Chin Pao got dusted by the Dunsparce, but other than that, this was the Espathra show.
I mean, 7-0. Let's just go to the next game.
I couldn't say there's really nothing to talk about. It's anything that it
That
always
is
is.
just crazy, bro. Look, this is what happened. It put up sub, it hit Calm Mind, and the game was over. Like, there's just nothing you can do.
Well, if there's one thing to say is that Spathra's debut had a big game. If you're JC in playoffs, maybe you're a little bit worried. You see what Espathra can do now? Maybe you're
JC
worried
has
about it.
Plenty of answers for that thing, though.
I don't know. When you got a big Ice Spice sitting in the back, I don't really think you get it right.
The Ice Spice, baby, Ice Spice.
Ice Spice, baby.
Well, yeah, this game, again, not much to talk about, so let's keep moving it on. Now this was an interesting one. I thought after game one, anyone could win this set just based on how much they were both throwing their brains out.
Nah, game one was actually the biggest throw of a game of the season. Maybe not of the season.
Well, I
actually.
mean,
There's been some crazy ones.
Tabs didn't have fake out, so he lost the game regardless. But in the moment,
Yeah, it seemed very crazy from the spectator side. I will say though, like this season, there has been a lot of games that have just been hard thrown, and myself included, just hard thrown. Like when I Dragon Tailed the set of Tita, like just so many things. This season has been going
I
crazy.
completely forgot that. Oh no.
Yeah, not my best moment. But honestly, I haven't lost a game since then, so we're chilling. I kind of
Yeah.
needed that wake up.
I'm trying to think of what else. I mean,
Oh, I can name some more.
Tabs. I mean, sacking Fluttermane
They're all
turn one at
Tabs.
game one. That's the thing though. Tabs trolled his brains out, but he still came out to win somehow. So like.
Yeah, crazy.
I forgot.
You know,
he won it.
honestly,
I thought he lost it. Tell you the truth.
honestly, when you watch the game, honestly, I feel like in most games when Tabs is winning, I feel like he's still like not mentally into it all the way, just because he's had games where he's lost at that same position.
I don't think he's mentally out. We just don't
No,
assume
not
he's
mentally out.
winning.
Yeah,
Because again, the biggest one is his game against JC. Like when he's in a
but I don't
winning
even think
position.
he does.
No, I think Taz definitely has the confidence, but I
You think?
think as a spectator, we are definitely very harsh on him because again, there's just some moments where he just does
Yeah,
not
true.
know what he's doing. And you know, Mr. Rhyme, for example, maybe if you had Berserker would have done more for you this game, but I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Honestly, I actually think that just from the spectator side, there's a lot of things that we just don't account for. But like, man, I wish we could show you the film. Like that was a game.
yeah.
A stressful game for me to watch for sure. Man, it's all no now, but like, yeah, I was
In the
I
moment.
that
Shaking
game
in the
it really was stressful. I mean, they both
I mean,
played really good. Blaziken went crazy.
Wasn't
What you
it
saying,
Bolton? And it was like destroying everything. And when it switched
Oh,
out,
yeah.
it started losing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Literally.
Bolton was putting in more work
He was-
than Fluttermane and Megalopunny, and that's something I never thought I'd say in my
I
life.
think the game Wu won. He switched out Bolton when it could have just hit something again. And then Wu just started coming back with Blaziken. That is what happened, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. So there was a little bit of trollery throughout the whole set, but I think Tabs realized, even without fake out, I think he realized he could win. And then he got the confidence back game 3. Even though somehow in game 2 he trolled it away, I think he still had the confidence the whole series.
Yeah, I mean the big one in this set was
Except
just
for game 1.
The hazards were just like Wu didn't have hazard removal, and that's like the 3 layers of spikes and the toxic spikes. Like there was no. I mean you had rapid spin, but you just go Fluttermane and then you can't do anything. So like
Yeah.
Not
and
having
Tabs, I
defog-
love you. If you're watching, I'm sorry, but man, that game 1 was Let's do something different than that next time.
Yeah, if you're gonna be making playoffs, we can't be having those type of games. I'll be
Yeah,
honest.
I can't let you have my little bunny if you're not hitting fake out, man.
Yeah, I mean, listen. As much as we're dogging on Tabs, we got a dog on Woo. Not, I mean, you had
Oh,
you had rapid spin on Eldegoss, but you didn't have boots. And then, you know, it's like it's one of those things where it's just like, what do you
I think
do?
I did help him with something. Not help, but I think I gave him an insight to something on these sets. I can't remember what it was. Oh, it was the imprisoned Suicune, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good
Yeah,
though.
yeah. Me and Wu cooked up like an imprisoned Sweet or Screamtail set to trap Necrozma's moves so
Yeah.
that he could never use Calm Mind or Store Power. And I actually think that it was really good. And I think I'm actually confused as to why he didn't bring Necrozma, 'cause I feel like.
Well, he said he didn't bring it because of the Mega T-Turn Houndstone, which I can understand.
Oh, okay.
But then it's like, why do you bring Mr. Rhyme? But game 3, he should have had the Healing Wish, which is actually really good tech. So as much
Yeah,
as
the
I
Healing
hate the
Wish was
Mr. Rhyme, I think the Healing Wish is good. So Tabs, at the end of the day, you pulled out the win. That's all that matters. You keep your playoff dreams alive, and you make woos a little bit harder. So again,
I was gonna say we should talk about the playoff implications.
yeah. So for Tabs, this is a big game. You keep neck and neck with B, and you're just slightly lagging behind Noah. So
the thing is, he didn't even know, like, coming into this game, he thought he was out, like, totally.
Yeah, that's
so.
another
Yeah.
thing. Crazy. He still plays like
He played for me, man. He played for me, for sure.
that's no
yeah,
cap, man.
Chase Inspire in the league.
That's what I like to hear, man. We're all helping each other out, man. That's what it's all about. But next game,
Josh ain't helping me out, but it's...
next game is me versus Noah. Yeah, I mean this is an interesting one. I terrestrialized for my Miltank game too, which was a move. But
Yeah.
and he rested his Annihilate in the electric terrain, which is the second time he's done that this season. But
I'm not even gonna lie. I always thought it would be me who would be the first person to click the wrong terror on Amon, just because I get so unbelievably fried before these games that when I'm playing on my phone, there's so many miscellaneous things that can happen. I'm surprised it wasn't me. It was Plas.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with
Normal
you.
Miltank.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. There's no explaining what happened. I clicked to the end of the turn and I saw the terror icon on my Miltank. I said, "How did we get here?" Noah was kind enough to offer a restart, but number one, I didn't have a normal move on Miltank, so it was severely just neutering my game ability to win. But also,
Didn't even have a normal move.
no, let me pull up my set, because I mean, I already gave it to him, so let me pull up my set really quick.
Bro, I actually love to hear that. That's great.
I was Ice Punch, Earthquake, Stealth Rock, Rock Slide. So, yeah, I had no Body Slam, no nothing. So no matter what, that Terranormal actually did nothing but hurt me. That's besides the point. Yeah,
Dang.
Zeraora kind of had his first pop off. It's weird because I don't think Zeraora really got a sweep this season, but game 2 against Noah, he killed 4. He just came in and killed 4 things immediately. Granted, one of them was a crit blaze kick against the Glalie, which very frustrating to deal with. But yeah, I feel like Zeraora had a really good game. Garchomp had another good game, went undying again, which is really cool. And I really wanted to use the Blastoise tech, man. I had Terrain Pulse for the electric terrain to get through the Annihilate.
Oh yeah, didn't even get to show that. Oh.
I didn't get to show it. Bro, in the video though, guess what the damage number was?
What? What?
Terrain Pulse was 195 base power.
Oh my god.
So that shit was cooking something.
That's incredible.
Yeah. I'm just upset I didn't get to use the tech, but maybe in a future season if someone else has Blastoise they can use it, but
Maybe
alas,
next time you should tear a normal Blastoise, man.
I need to Terra Electric that bitch, bro. Fuck. And then I guess the last thing is my Liberty tech with the max attack Brave. It didn't work as well as I thought it would, but game 1 he picked up 3 kills out of nowhere and that's all I needed. So You know, I mean, Noah brought the tech too. Vileplume was a
Mhm.
pain in my ass.
No, Noah's playing good.
The
only
corrosive
thing-
gas was really good as well.
Noah, man, you gotta stop trying to snooze during the electric terrain, man. Listen to me. Stop hitting that button. You're pulling mistakes that I make. Like, stop it.
Yeah.
You know, this game actually made me sad because I was really excited to see Noah in playoffs. Like, I really wanted to see what he was cooking up because not only did he give me like the boom burst palaf and stuff, but like I feel like at the beginning of the season, the sets that he was cooking up with his mods were really creative. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like
I
Noah's
was
the one.
excited to watch his games.
Yeah, I feel like Noah's the one coach who, while he's only 6 and 7, I feel like of the coaches that aren't in like the top 4, top 5, I feel like Noah's the one coach where I think he is actually like a championship contender. But for whatever reason, he just has those stupid fucking moments where he just clicks fucking rest in electric terrain, where it's just like, maybe this is why you're not contesting for the chip. I mean, he's still, as of now, he's still in the playoffs, but that could change if he loses JC next week. So, got a big game coming up against JC, a must-win game. If he loses, probably doesn't make playoffs. But
Interested
honestly,
to see that prep.
yeah, I think granted, I won 2-0. Doesn't, I hate when I say this, but it really doesn't tell the full story. He definitely had me on the back foot at times, but again, just, I felt like
2-0s always look so, especially like a 206 differential. They just look like you stomped them. But like when you watch a game back, it was like he played a good game.
yeah, I mean, it was a 3-0 both games, so I mean, it's not like I 5-0'd them then lost like 1-0 or something. Like, they're pretty contested both games. It's just like the Rocks were
In one
killing
game he
them.
would have won. He might have won if he didn't hit rest.
Yeah, I mean,
in the
game 1,
electric
if he didn't click rest in the electric turn game 1, probably wins. I'm not gonna say for sure,
Yeah.
but it definitely.
It's
the
hard
game
to say
becomes-
for sure, but
Yeah, the game becomes a lot harder for me, but yeah, I think just again, I think if he keeps bringing like the electric seed Uxie, it didn't work, but in an alternate universe, I probably get swept by Calm Line electric seed Uxie. You know what I mean? So
yeah. That's what he brought.
yeah, he brought electric seed Calm Line Uxie.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking. All right, man. Go next one. I'm gonna get upset.
Yeah. So Noah, big game for you next week. Looking excited and all that for you. Oh god, this.
Oh,
No. Someone else can take this one, bro.
this is the best game in the
Oh.
season. This
I mean, low kicks just fucking went in. I mean, Preston, he even knew before the game that he still had a chance to make playoffs, and he got his shit rocked. He really did. He got Fell Stinger up 2 games in a row, and he got put in a pack 2 games in a row by Nick. And I'm so incredibly proud of Nick for pulling out and winning this. I know he was talking to Plaz before, and always having somebody to talk to can't help. And he didn't give up. He didn't forfeit. He didn't like get flustered or anything like that. He came back and he figured it the fuck out, and he hit him with the 2-0.
I'm expecting Nick to be, maybe not a top contender team next season, but I expect him to be more along the lines of like a Taboon or a B or something like that, where they're like, on the outskirts, little wild card situation. So he's putting the work in. I mean, he's asking for more help. He's listening to help, and he sent his prep to me. I was a little bit busy playing Rainbow Six, but obviously just a
Fucking Legion main.
masterful.
Ew! Oh, whoa! Main and Legion now.
That's my guy.
Oh,
Just a masterful class of masterclass performance from the low kicks for sure. Preston just does not have the team to deal with low kicks. Just nothing. Every time that thing comes in, it claims a life. So, if as long as something on Preston's team dies first, then it is literally just a guaranteed win for Nick, because he can just sack whatever he wants, and then bring low kicks in and kill something. So
Yeah.
unfortunately,
What was your first impression?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Alright, so my big thing from this game is, as you can see, as you can probably guess, Nick prepped very hard for the Bascules and Pelipper duo, and they just didn't come. So the second they loaded in, I was like, oh, this game's a wash. Cloister does nothing, and Raichu is still good, but not great. And, bro, like, Cloister 1v1 to Gallade because of Rocky Helmet plus Hydro Pump damage. Fucking, again, low kicks, the star of the show. I think for someone like Nick, who had such a rough first season, to go, I mean, technically he went out on a loss, but he played this game last, so, like, we're going to go with that. So, like, going out on a big win in a game that, like, didn't mean much to you, but you ruined playoffs for someone else,
That's big.
that has to feel good that you ruined a playoff team season because you showed up in one of the last weeks. So for Nick, if I were him, definitely looking to franchise low kicks. There's no way you give that up. So one mon you found super success with the whole season, and it's a mon that everyone's looking for. So I just pick it up, franchise it, and then build a team around that and try to facilitate it as best as possible for next season. I think if he does that and keeps taking advice and learns from other coaches, I agree with Tanner. I think he's very similar to B from season 2. Obviously, B won a couple more games than Nick, but I think Nick... The thing about new players is usually you have to convince them to make predictions. Nick, you have to convince them to not make predictions. And I think it's a lot I think it's a lot easier to convince someone to not make predictions than to make them. Because when someone already knows predictions, you just tell them to make straightforward plays at times. That's a lot easier than telling someone to be like, hey, you should think about this and this and this and make this prediction then and that prediction then. It's a lot harder to teach someone that than it is to just say, hey, turn your brain off at times and just do the standard thing. So I think since Nick already has that mind of making big predictions, I think as long as he reels that in a bit, learns how to use Terrasilize a little bit better, I think he's definitely like a wild card playoff coach potentially moving into season 4 for sure.
Yeah, go back to that bug low kicks terror, man. That shit was fire.
Yeah, that shit was going evil, bro. But
One hit.
I lie him. I think a couple of times where he doesn't just click Terra on Celebi the first turn it's in, I think that thing.
Oh no, I don't think the Celebi terror is bad at all.
I think that thing's a threat for sure.
I think it's
Big.
good, yeah. I just think low kicks bug terror first impressions just kills it. Why not do it? Okay.
yeah. And again, that was like a big thing I talked about Nick going into set is just you have to use your Terra better. He tried to use it a little bit better, but the offensive
Celebi good.
The offensive pressure this set was just too high. But again, because of the low kicks, as long as he just kept it alive and in the back, there was really nothing Preston could do. So
yeah.
Again, I'm surprised he didn't bring Heatran. I guess you have to worry about Axe Kick, which is another thing. But again, sometimes you kind of have to just make those plays. I don't know. Preston, your season is over, but maybe you could ruin B-Man's next week. We'll have to see. But the last game of the week, which was played a couple hours ago, ruined Chase's chances for playoffs. Croc versus Josh.
They had to hit him with it early.
Hey man, I gotta keep it honest.
Yeah, quite unfortunate that I'm gonna have to forfeit to Woo, so Croc can't make it.
It's not happening, but okay.
Hey, we'll see, you know.
But I think the big thing from this set is game 1. I don't even want to talk about game 1, but game 2. Josh had like 3 layers of spikes up in Stealth Rocks, and still I don't know how he lost. Like obviously Gyarados got a Dragon Dance up and swept, but I don't know.
He lost when he sacked 3 mon to Gorgeist. The 3 kills the Gorgeist has were all in game.
Yeah. Like why? Gorgeist.
Well, I think it was a combination of Earthworm going crazy and him just reading the predict.
Yeah,
because
that's
Earthworm
like-
put a lot of chip damage on like his whole team, which allowed Gorgeist to sweep.
But my thing
I
is
mean,
this,
that
right?
whole thing was crazy.
You
yeah.
knew he didn't have Fire Blast because Gorgeist was in front of Ferrothorn early in the game and he clicked Will-O-Wisp. So why do you not just go Ferrothorn every time Gorgeist is out and just knock him off to death? Because, like, yeah, you eat a burn, but, like, your Power
Fucking
Whip...
doing like 4%.
That's what I mean. Like, you already knew Power Whip wasn't doing too much to Gyarados, and you knew he couldn't hit you, so why not just take Gorgeist out of the equation? Because, again, if he hits you, he's taking Iron Barbs and all that bullshit. Why not just use... I mean, I guess you need Ferrothorn for Gyarados, but, like...
Hitting him.
What's up?
Yeah, I think he was doing it.
He was using Poltergeist, so like he wasn't getting hit by the Iron Barb.
That's true. But that's the thing, though. Even if you save Ferrothorn for Gyarados, he just sets up in your face and wins anyway, like he did. So, like... I don't know. This is a tough set. I mean, it's... I'm
I
glad...
think he was more so expecting him to use his ground terror more, but I think Croc did a really good job of not using his terror at times where he shouldn't. Like he played with his terror really well in this game.
I think
Because
that's...
had he just ground terror, the game would have just been over.
Yeah, I think that's been the key to Croc's season. As weird of a team as he has with the lack of hazard removal, I mean, he has Comfey now. I think this Vex Comfey was definitely a great brain. Caught Josh off super off guard. Picked up a sneaky kill against the Samurai. But, again, I mean, even last week, I said the Mon to look out for in this set was Samurai. In Game 2, Samurai got all 3 layers of spikes up, and it still didn't matter. Croc just made the right plays he needed to make, and he won. And this is a big game for Croc, because now he's a game up over Wu. So even if, I mean, let me see the rankings really quick. So Croc is at +10, and Wu's at -1. So Wu needs like a perfect game against Chase, or else, as long as Croc doesn't lose super terribly against Chris, which by the nature of his team he can sweep pretty easily, so as long as he just gets some kills, like Croc doesn't even have to win next week. All he needs to do, like Croc could literally just bring nothing but hyper offense against Chris and just try to kill as many things as possible, and he can probably make playoffs just off differential alone. So as long as Croc doesn't fuck up next week tremendously terrible, he's in for playoffs.
Yeah, and I will say, man, I'm not taking it easy. I am coming to win. So if you let me get 12 kills with Elephant, I will.
I think the biggest thing here, honestly, too, though, is the let's just point in the direction of the Moth, like, and then look at Croc's team. Realistically, one hits Comfey, neutral damage to the Bax Caliber. It does very well into Gorgeist with both of its typings. It can do very well into, Gyarados doesn't want to come in and take a Sludge Wave, or maybe an Energy Ball, depending on whether it's
Or a
Terran or not.
discharge.
Or a Discharge. Earthworm obviously doesn't want to deal with anything special. And then you have, Arcanine, which is like
The one thing.
Arcanine and Earthworm.
Boy.
With Earthworm being like for the poison stuff, are like your 2 Mons. But like Iron Moth should have gone in this game, in these games. Like it just didn't happen. I mean, it just kind of got shut down.
Yeah, same with Tusk. Like, I don't remember the last time I've seen Moth or Tusk with 0 kills.
Right. Like 2 of the most powerful Paradox Mons are sitting at 0 kills against like a Comfey.
And it's weird because I feel like he was in a good position like most of the games.
That's what I mean. Game 2, he literally had max hazards up and lost.
Like Game 1 and Game 2 started the same way. He killed the Earthworm and he killed the Arcanine, which was the biggest wall, quote unquote, threats that were stopping him from going crazy with some of his other Pokemon, and he killed him and he was doing good, and like Plat said, he had all the hazards up, but he just let some chip get down, and he
Earthworm
Gorgeist
surviving
came up.
as long as it did was kind of crazy, but he tried to overpredict and didn't hit close combat. Should have hit close combat, man.
And Game 2 is when he had all those statuses and stuff that he got too. Like Croc got paralyzed 3 times in a row, with Arcanine. Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
Some would say an unlosable situation.
Maybe the
And-
Taboon passive coming out in him.
Yeah, we're gonna have to start calling that the Taboon.
My thing is this, right? When you have such a scary setup sweeper duo in Gyarados and Bax, you need to bring him on like Great Tusk, who outspeeds both of them. Or I think Tusk is 86 and Bax is 87. So bad example. But
Tusk is 87, yes.
oh, so Bax is 8. So they speed tied 87, right?
Bax Caliber is indeed 87, yes.
All right. So I just know the speed tiers, man. So my point is this, right? When you have a mon that like if you brought Scarf Tusk to this game, it checks +1 Gyarados and it speed ties with +1 Bax, which he's probably not going to want to risk. So, not bringing Scarf Tusk to a game where he has 2 Dragon Dance sweepers, questionable at best. And again,
What was it?
I don't even know if we saw his item. But I'm assuming it wasn't Scarf, the Tusk.
Yeah, I don't think we saw the item either.
Yeah, so
I mean, I think it didn't really live.
yeah, not bringing a Scarfer against a Dragon Dancing team, questionable. And again, like Tanner said earlier, the Moth should have at minimum 6 kills this set. Like, the Croc's strength is 1, using Gyarados' Terra really, really well, playing those mind games, and 2, Croc is, in my mind, Croc and Mnaz are like the 2 best prediction-based coaches in Big Juice, and it just shows. Like, the fact that Moth had like literally 0 kills this set, just speaks to the volumes of what Croc can do when he's getting the mind games done right.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, is there anything else we want to add on to the week 13, or is that all we got?
For the recap, I would say that's about it. I mean, this week didn't really. I mean, a lot of the games had a lot of implications, but a lot of the games were so like, I don't know if one-sided was the word, but like at a certain point you could just tell like who was winning.
Yeah.
I feel like in every game, like, I don't know. I was hoping for a more competitive week knowing the stakes, but I think it was still
You're telling me.
something.
I mean, hey, I think it comes down to sometimes like you get in the situation where your playoff hopes is riding off of like 2 or 3 different things, so it's kind of hard to even like put your head down and like, because at that point your destiny's kind of out of your own control. Maybe that's a little bit hard to kind of deal with and to put all your time into something you know that could possibly not even be feasible. So maybe that's why sets are getting a little bit more sort of one-sided than they have been the rest of the season. Who knows? But
Yeah.
for the ones of us that are still in, that's definitely not going to be the case. So we got probably some of the best games of the season left to be played, especially because playoffs is essentially here, you know, being next week. So
Yep.
A week away, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Tanner said, we'll get into this going into the next video. We'll stop this video in a bit, but the 3 games you gotta watch for next week is Tabs, B, and Noah. Those 3 games just Woo and Chase, not so much, because again, I think Croc, as long as Croc doesn't just throw his brains out against Chris, should be locked in. But for these 3 games right here, these are 3 games you gotta look at. Josh just lost a pretty, like we've been saying, a pretty unlosable game. So for Tabs coming in off a big win against Woo, in my mind, we'll get into the predictions again next video, but in my mind, Tabs is riding a lot of momentum going into that set. And for Noah, he's going up against a coach who's been red fucking hot. That's gonna be scary. And B's going up against a coach who just came off a loss to the second worst coach in the league. So, in my mind, these 3 sets are gonna be massive. You must watch this for next week for sure.
Yeah. Nothing less to be said.
Yeah, so we are gonna end it off here for the week 13 recap. Any last minute thoughts?
that's it.
Good luck to everyone, man. Really.
Yeah, good luck to everybody.
To be on the more content side here towards the end, just to maybe making these prediction videos and just hyping people up, ready to see what people got cooked up for the playoffs. Yeah.
Alright,
Since I'm probably not going to be in the next video to say it, I'll say it here. Just remember, you must come correct, or you must not come at all.
Listen, man, I'm gonna be playing that Finch quote. I'm gonna be playing that Finch quote every goddamn video. But heard it here. That's it for us. We'll be back in about 5 minutes for the predictions. So we're gonna get on out of here now. I'll see y'all in the next one.
Bye.
Deuces.